Yoshida asking players not to retire their subs? What? No way. No way! Let me look. Translate page. Can you see this? No. Let's pull it up. Firefox. Okay. Yoshida producer, we're planning to implement some time-consuming content, but please don't give up. This is from October. This is from a little while ago. Time-consuming content. I know very well that the fun and motivation of getting stronger by repeating things or reaching the goal faster than others by spending time on it is interesting because I used to play games of that generation. Old school MMOs. Time sink content. When designing such content, you need to mathematically calculate how many hours you need to spend on it to reach the goal and plan it so that you can get a sense of accomplishment the first time in about a third of that time. Some people rush it, while others take 4 or 5 months. So you design and implement it while thinking about how long it will take to achieve it. Wait. The amount of time spent on it is probably... So I assume he's talking about their design process for the upcoming exploration zone. The amount of time spent on it is probably settled to about 10 to 15% for FF14 as a whole, but recently players have been saying, isn't there not enough time-consuming content these days? And even if there is, it's too easy. So I'm trying to make it a little more enthusiastic, so please look forward to it. Please don't retire. Like, don't give up is what he's saying. Okay, so he's talking about designing this. I don't know about this line of thinking right here, okay? Where he said, when designing the content, they need to calculate how many hours you need to spend on it in total. And then in the third of that time, at some point, you'll have a sense of accomplishment. Like, I don't know if mathing it out in this way is the way to go with it. Maybe play it and ask yourself, is this satisfying? As you're playing it in the beginning. Because I say this as a person who played Eureka in its original form when it first came out, and it was a super grindy disaster. Okay? It was horrible. It was not fun at all to do. At all. I hated it. It's like most people did. It was very, very poorly received by the community. I can't even imagine what would happen if they released something like that in its original state in Dawntrail. Honestly, it'll be content. It will be content at least. Yeah, like, can you ask yourself, is this fun? That's all I'm saying. Eureka became fun around Pyrus. See, there's other buns in the chat who remember this pretty well. Like, you were there too. Yeah. It reminds me a little bit, I hate to say this, but I have to. It reminds me of back in Shadowlands when Ian Hazakostas was like, well, we've looked at our data and we've seen that many players are engaging with this content, so clearly it must be, you know, something players like to do. Okay, I mean, I just don't know if the math and the data is the best way to judge something like fun, enjoyment, sense of achievement. Okay, like, you gotta play it yourself. Yeah. Check yourself with a mind of a player. But we'll see. He hasn't designed the time-consuming content package yet. That's true. That's true. If they just take, like, later stages of Eureka, it'll be all good, I think. Okay. Hold on a second. We got a prediction. Ask the crystal. Oh, the crystal ball! It's been a while. Okay. Will Square Enix ever apologize? Oh my god, this is a spicy one. For the terrible Dawn Trail experience most players had.
I am confident it is now.
No. Absolutely the f not. Obviously. He said, I'm confident it's no. He knows what's up. Yeah, he's usually correct. I knew it. I knew it. As soon as you asked. Oh, dude. Oh my god. Quarantine Mike, hi. You said, I hope YOSHI-P watches your review for Dawn Trail, makes major changes. I'm close on quitting FF14. Well, what else is an issue? Like, I'm asking you that as a person who I'm currently doing early research and early drafts for the next upcoming video essays. So if there's other major issues that are making you want to quit, let me know about them and I'll consider that in my experience too and see how I could work it all into a next videos. Only when Sphene enters the mix does it slightly harken back to FF9 material, the whole Harvesting Souls. Oh, it's an Act 4 part of 9's story. That's about it for reference material. Oh my god, so Harvesting Souls is from FF9? Okay. Okay. Oh my god. They wouldn't put that in there just because it was part of FF9, right? No. Bozja-like content should already be out. I've heard many people suggest that, and I agree, but also they like to release that later on in the expansion typically, so that people have something to do before the next expansion. Like, because there's usually a long content drought then. And that's when people are doing the Eureka, you know, exploration zone. I remember it was a very long drought, I think before Shadowbringers. And someone asking YOSHI-P, what should we do while we wait? And he's like, get every relic. So basically they need more content besides that that's out that you can do. And I really do think that this kind of content that makes people stick around, that casuals stick around, should be in the game from the start, right after they did the main expansion, right? That's when players are at their peak and you want to capture as many of them as possible before they unsub waiting for the next expansion. Chaotic takes your time, alright. It's been 20 plus hours. What? 20% was actually in the fight. The other 80% was waiting for PF to fill or hashing out strats because people didn't know what the PF said. How far did you get, Swig? Did you finish? That was horrible. Bellana having fun and wow. Yeah, we've also, a lot of the Bun community has moved over to our World of Warcraft guild, and I'll be swapping over there later today because of the gameplay, how it feels. You're completely right. It's about like how fun it is to play a class, especially in the lower level types of content. I think this is a really big piece of the puzzle that kind of goes unnoticed a lot of the time. I did, as a healer especially, if you're on a healing class. it's just a lot more fun to have more buttons to use when you're fighting things. I mean, this isn't rocket science. I like having a lot of buttons to use and things that I can press that make me feel like I'm playing the game. Besides, like, a dot and one button, or a dot and one AoE button. We really need some of this stuff to be more engaging when you're not doing high-end content. That's the thing that I think has really been bothering me ever since DSR. DSR in some ways kind of ruined the game for me. In some ways it kind of ruined the game for me. Because I saw how fun the game could be and how amazing it could be when you're using all your buttons and how great it is. And then going from that to a dungeon or like just, you know, killing one enemy for a Beast Tribe quest, it just felt so much worse that it's driving me crazy. I want to be able to experience pressing all my buttons and being that engaged, but not in an unbelievably punishing environment of Ultimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to use my full kit all the damn time, and it drives me also insane when I'm level synced down into different kinds of content. I can even use half of my buttons. Most of the shit that I'm having to do is roulette. Yeah. But that's a topic. That's a totally different topic. It's different. The game plays it too safe. I enjoyed the game, but am bored with the exact same content wrapped in different skins. It does seem like that is their overarching goal, though, is to wrap content in packages. The packages is what they really aim at. I'm struggling to keep playing because I think I'm too late to start playing hard content, and I'm losing my will to play, trying to level up every job to 100. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a pretty huge journey. I did it to 80 in Shadowbringers, but I was super motivated in Shadowbringers, so might take a break from that if you have so much time. Like, nothing is on a time. 8.0 isn't coming till late 2026, so like you don't need to rush it. Feel like they should have long-term content for casuals, something along the lines of the upcoming Crafter-Gatherer exploration. Add it early. And then introduce content for the more hardcore over time.
Zepla,
yeah. But I don't want to do Crafter-Gatherer stuff. That's another problem that I've got. I didn't like Ishgard Restoration because I'm not a Crafter or Gatherer player. It's not what I do. If you look at how you play the game, I realized something that I personally really enjoy when I play games in general. Not just this game, but a lot of games. I like exploration. I like flying through the world and discovering little treasures and finding new places. So I love a nice open world, a big open world. Satisfying open world. And I feel like maybe something like that for casuals would be great. Have you done the Heaven's Turn quest yet? No. I want to do that today. At some point. Yeah. Feel I'm forcing myself to do content just so I have something to do, but I think it's time I hang up the idea of leveling all jobs to 100. Yeah, I mean, don't force yourself to do it if you're not enjoying it. I enjoy the PvP buttons more. Like, my PvP skill set is much more fun in the small type content. Like, I actually love playing White Mage in PvP since they changed it. I'm a White Mage Crystalline Conflict main. Like, that is, I love it. It's fantastic. I have exciting buttons that I can press. I have, like, you know, I can rush to the enemy, put a shield, protect on everybody in the vicinity. I have this blast, like, Nouvelette beam blasts, and it's exciting. It's fun to do. I like having the personal LBs, and so I don't think it's about number of buttons. It's just about how well do these buttons work together in the content that you're being asked to do. I would much rather have my PvP kit in a low-level dungeon than be level synced down and not have half of my buttons. Level syncing is really like, it's probably one of these hills I'm gonna die on. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. The big reason why I had to put down F14 is because I realized 99% of the side content isn't made for me. What kind of side content did you try? Yeah. Zep, you're 1000% correct. There needs to be more content bringing a sync up feature, like what Baja had. Require of a minimum level of 30 to enter, and sync as up to max level. Let players have an area where they can go nuts playing a job at max level, see if it's something that they like. Actually, yeah, that's another thing. Let players have access to an area where they can test out a job at max level and see if they even enjoy it or not. Yeah, that's true. Guild Wars 2 is the only game that does level sync content correctly. So how does Guild Wars 2 handle it? Because I don't remember. You don't lose buttons, I'm pretty sure. And in Elder Scrolls Online, you also don't lose buttons. Like, you can just queue for a dungeon and people of all different levels will be in the dungeon with you. And I know it's the same way in World of Warcraft. So how does Guild Wars 2 handle it? FF14's worlds don't feel open to me. They feel like stages in a play or movie set. Everything's there for a reason, and not just because. Does it feel as alive? Wow, that's actually a good point. Does it feel as alive? I just feel like there's not a lot in it. There's not a lot in the map. What do you plan on doing in WoW today? Not raiding. Today I wanted to maybe check out Siren Isle. And it's also the last day for the 20th anniversary of it. So making sure that I got all the crap that I wanted before it's gone pecan. Yeah. You just scale to the level. Okay, so that's what literally every other major MMO does. Except FF14. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you keep all your skills and traits in the same as the other games. SWTOR also does level sync up. So you don't lose your buttons in SWTOR. Well, there you go. I mean... there you go. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they need to make some adjustments to the core systems like that could be improved. Like, I would rather them spend an expansion doing that and just don't even worry about the jobs. I would rather have not any new jobs and then we see improvements to systems like that. Yeah. So I think I missed some stuff. Oh, I did. Okay. FF16 isn't why Dawn Trail's story is bad. Yeah, I actually also agree with Lifty. I don't think it's that. It's time to stop blaming FF16. Because people blamed FF16 through all of Endwalker too. Okay, at a certain point, you just gotta admit that it wasn't that. Yeah. I don't think it's that. It's part of roulette, kinda. Okay, I'm just seeing what I missed. Lendy2, thank you very much for the 19-month resub. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I do think the open world is a big one for FF14 that really needs to be improved on and just made to feel like, you know, hunting for Easter eggs, finding exciting little treasures and cool things in the world that are neat. I don't know what. Something as simple as, if you watch the stream where we do World of Warcraft here, you've seen us do what we call moling. It's such a simple thing, but we honestly get so much enjoyment out of that here on the stream. Moling is, you need 5 people to go stand at different points on the map. And if everyone pulls a lever at the same time, then a monster pops out that we all go to fight, and he has a chance to drop him out. Okay, it's super simple. It's like not complicated to put this in the game, but it's something we all like doing because anybody can join in to do it, and everybody gets a shot at it, and it's exciting to help other people get them out. So we do this all the time, and it's like that's an open world activity that makes us want to hang out together. You know, it makes people want to go do something together. Something. It's just one tiny example. Stuff like this that makes let's all go into the world together and do this cool thing, you know? The rare spawns. We have the hunt mobs, which is probably the main, you know, open world content that we have. But the hunt system hasn't been changed or updated or innovated on at all in all these years. They just keep repeating the same, keep releasing it in exactly the same format. And I feel like it's kind of, there's some missed opportunities here. Because yes, there are achievements that you can do, like you can go for getting the tiger mount, Centurio Tiger, which is a really, really long-term project, but it's an insanely long-term project. It's like, requires a lot of commitment to do that, and I think that we need more smaller goals that bring people together for this kinds of things. It's like, we can just quickly do this, and it would be a fun thing to do now. It's not going to take me 10 months of grinding and effort and commitment to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's casually jump in. We need the casual. This is actually really funny because I used to think, okay, I used to be only a raider, really. I would only really play because I cared about raiding. But in Endwalker patches, I decided to try being a casual. Just be a casual instead. Because casuals were telling me they were having more fun in Endwalker. And I'm like, well, shit, I want to have fun too. So I'm going to be a casual. So I switched to being a casual in that time. And I've been a casual ever since. And what I found is that the game doesn't really have, like, what I thought was casual content isn't. I was wrong about that. I used to think that the relic was casual content. That's not true. Actually, that's not. I used to be like, well, they want to make rooms for all the casual content. That's why we're not getting enough ultimates, you know? But I learned over time, it's not casual content. If you need to spend months and months working at it and you need commitment to it, like, that's not what that means. That's mid-core. Casual means you drop in, takes a little effort, and you can do it and have some enjoyment in this small loot. Yeah. The relic was casual content in Walking True. But you know, before that, it's not. Yeah. Casual content is really important to the social aspect of the game, I feel. Maybe more FC in-game events for items thing. Yeah, actually, it's a good point. FC system is another system that's been kind of not innovated on, not worked on in all these years. Like, have FC achievements like in World of Warcraft. I mean, I have to do these comparisons because we actually now have active guilds in World of Warcraft where we are doing these things together, and I can't help but look back and think, well, shit, wouldn't that be cool if we also could do these kinds of things? So, like, in WoW, we have guild achievements where everybody can get a mount for us doing the guild achievement. Like, if there's maybe three people in the group that are all in the same guild, then it counts as a guild achievement for doing that thing. And it's like everybody feels proud about that. We get guild points. I think we need stuff like that for the social health of the game. Guild Wars 2 is the game to look into for open world events. Yeah, absolutely. Guild Wars 2 is fantastic open world Has a fantastic open world. 14 has no trading of rare items or drops. You can only trade things that people can buy for themselves off the market board. I think that's actually true. No, there are minions that... Oh, but that's the thing that you can buy off the market board. Yeah. That's true. But, I mean... Zep, I've always said, we have houses, we have mahjong. Why have they not added more multiplayer board games for FCs? Board games? What? We already have a board game. It's Monopoly. It's the housing system. You know, in Monopoly, when you just can't get control of property because of one guy is controlling the board? That's what we have already. It's the one asshole who owns the entire board. Yeah, we got that. Can't land on Park Place. Oh my god. That one guy bought all the red pieces. I don't know why YOSHI-P keeps trying to make mahjong happen. Apparently, I've heard that the mahjong players are very committed. I've heard people say that FF14 is a fantastic mahjong, and there's people that play just for that. But if you play FF14 just for the mahjong, you don't actually need to pay a subscription fee, because you can do that in the free trial. So it's a really good free mahjong game for people. Yeah, it's huge in JP. Yeah. Okay. I am catching up here. Oh. One thing they made more casual that I personally didn't like was the crafting system. I like that it was hard to max out all your crafters and gatherers. It took forever, but it made it feel more valuable. I feel like I can't really speak to that because I was never into crafting. Really. I liked the changes to gathering though. But I didn't really do a lot of crafting, so I'm not... I feel like maybe I was the target audience for them simplifying the crafting system, but I still didn't really want to get into it after that because it's just not my jam. Shiny skins in FF14 are so bad. And most of the time they're not worth grinding for. Most of the casual in-game glamour can be bought via the market board. Most, but not all. There are some key pieces of glamour that you absolutely need to grind for. For example, the Darbar set from that Inwalker dungeon, and for example, the beautiful flowing robes from Aglaya. Yeah, you gotta grind for that shit.